I'm in the middle of making my Lesbia, making her look, like her dress look rippled and everything. And I'm finding that it's much more difficult than I thought it was going to be. So I'm videoing little tidbits of the process. My kit came with all kinds of cool tools and stuff, but I'm finding that this is a tool that I use for, actually when I hot glue things together, when I do those kind of crafts, you can push it down without like burning yourself. So I'm finding that this tool has worked the best for really like getting my grooves and making them smoother than it was when I was using this, because then they were jagged and I couldn't make them smooth. Like they were jagged here, so now I'm smoothing them out. And then in the pictures, you'll see that I was adding material so that way I could like blend it off is what my thought was. Haven't worked on this hand yet. I'm very intimidated by her hands. And you can see how I've added the material and stuff, and I'm going to etch away. I thought that would be easier, but I'm not sure if I've done this right, and I'm not sure that I will have a fully complete process, a fully completed Lesbia by the time this project is due. So I'm going to do the best that I can, but I am determined to make her the best that I can. And I gotta fix that. I don't know how I got that nudge in her spine, but now I just put my fingernail in her. I think this is going to be a longer term project for me than I am going to have for just class. I think I'm going to get her as best I can for this assignment, but she's going to be a long-term piece of work for me because I am very invested and super into this now. I was not into it when we used the red clay, but now that I bought this clay from Hobby Lobby, I am like invested. And then the little bird for her hand, her dead sparrow has, I'm just not sure how I'm going to get the detail in such a little piece, such a little thing. So I've like etched some feathers into it. I'm not 100% sure what I'm doing with that, but he fits into her hand nicely. And I think her hand looks unproportioned because it's away from her body, whereas it's the exact same size as this because I measured it and I'm like, I measured them together. But I'm going to try to piece together this video on YouTube so that way you can see the process. This isn't something I'm just throwing together. This is something I have spent hours upon hours on because I really like this and I really want to make it as best as I can, but I'm having issues. So that's it. This is Christina Spickloser with Arts 114 with my final Lesbia project. I'm not 100% happy with the way that she looks. I wasn't able to get her good details that I wanted, but I definitely think that she gets across what we were trying to do. The dress looks pretty good. The wrinkles, I did multiple techniques to try to figure out how to get this under control. And here's her back. Ultimately, I wind up doing like the coil method, just very tiny, and adding it to the dress and then smoothing it all over, doing the same thing on the back, adding it and smoothing it using paintbrushes actually to make it smoother, because as I was like etching it and stuff, it was very sharp looking. So to make it smooth, I used the paintbrush with lots of water on it. The same with her hair, I used the paintbrush. The bird isn't as detailed, or neither is her face. If I were, I will be redoing her again eventually, but I would not add her head or her arms until the details of her body were on. Her head and her arms being on the body really impeded the amount of detail you could add. I think I would also do a bigger scale because just I'm not good enough at like getting the facial features in this tiny scale. I feel like if it was bigger, I would have been able to do better. Her arm fell off once. Her hand broke off 3 times. So I tried. This is as far as I got. I think it was a little too ambitious to get done in the 15 hours that I actually gave to her. I think it was just too ambitious of a project to really get done once I seen what the other students in the class were doing. Yeah, so there she is. And my helper today again is Mia.